What's up? What's here? What's popping? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another great episode of Simone with the Sports. I'm Simone, bringing you guys daily sports talk. So if you're new here, if you're old here and you haven't already subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you stop what you're doing, leave a comment, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Also, make sure you check out the links down below. The first link is to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel that you love so much. The second link is to shop the official Simone with the Sports merch collection. Get you the classic or the wavy tees I'm rocking today. You know what I'm saying? Wavy for the summertime. And lastly, you can shop the fly or die crew neck that comes in black, white, and green. But guys, above all else, turn your notification bells on because you already know the videos are coming live, boom, 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 boom. And you don't want to miss a single video or a single live stream. But guys, let's go ahead and jump right into the topics for today. We got a couple of things to run through, you know, like the Nets ran through us. Now we got to run through some topics in G because we got a lot of G to unpack. First of all, we can all agree with the fact right now. Well, how do I want to order this? Let me start off with this. The Sixers have 17 games left over a 29-day period. So the Sixers will play 17 games in 29 days, 4 back-to-backs. Yes, 4 back-to-backs. So that's why this part of the season is so pivotal, especially for the Sixers that's trying to climb the ranks of the Eastern Conference, because we don't want to end up a 3rd seed or 4th seed, a 2nd seed, and meeting a team like the Celtics, the Bucks, the Heat, or the Bulls. Well, not the Heat, because we won't. The Bulls or the Celtics in the first round. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little bit concerned about the back-to-backs just because the first time we had a back-to-back with James Harden sat out. We played, was it right after the Cavs? I don't remember. Anyways, I don't remember who we were coming off a back-to-back of, but James Harden sat out. So I'm just a little bit concerned about the 4 back-to-backs left on the schedule because I'm like, is James Harden going to sit out every back-to-back? Because last time he sat out, it was a planned rest, apparently, pre-planned. But we didn't know it as fans. You know what I'm saying? When you pre-plan some of these, at least let me know, someone with this bizzle, so I can let y'all know that before the morning of that James ain't playing. So that's a little bit concerning because it seems like he has these planned rests built in. So we have 4 back-to-back. So is it like every back-to-back are you not gonna be playing? Because that's 4 games. You know what I mean? If we have 4 back-to-backs, that means, I don't know, yeah, 4 back-to-backs. Does that mean we have 4 back-to-backs? Like, does that mean we have 1 game and then another game, 1 game and another game twice? Anyways, James Harden can't afford to sit out any more games, point blank, period, okay? Because we're getting down the stretch and we need you, especially if, okay, anyway, let's move on. So that has me concerned because we have a lot of games left and a lot of back-to-backs, and we know Joel Embiid don't like back-to-backs and James Harden don't like back-to-backs, and that's 2 guys we need showing up night in and night out. So that's something that we're gonna have to be looking out for. Will James be playing the rest of these games where we definitely need him? I guess, you know, he ain't gonna be stinking it up like he did against the Nets. But anyway, we can all agree right now that Tobias Harris needs to come off the bench. That's something we have discussed in my comments, and that's something that we can all agree on. First of all, it's just very much like, dang, $34 million coming off the bench sucks to suck. But we already made the decision. We can't change anything about his contract this season. The only thing we could do is make adjustments and make changes, something that Doc Rivers will not do. But hopefully, we need to bring Niang, needs to go ahead and join the starting lineup, bring Tobias off the bench. Tobias can, you know, go back to maybe what he was doing last season, being more dominant on offense. He's been solid on defense, but he's just not giving us that stretch 4. You know what I'm saying? stretch four. Stretch four means you need to be knocking down shots. You need to be knocking down threes. Now, Niang has been way more consistent on offense than Tobias is. Overall player, Tobias is definitely a better overall player just because he's a more consistent and solid defender. But Tobias Harris, for whatever reason, I don't know if he doesn't like the role of catch and shoot, but he'll be wide open, and we just know he just would rather take a contested shot, dribble, instead of just, boom, taking the open, quick catch and shoot. Because we know since we got James Harden, all those catch and shoot opportunities have been there, and Niang is just way more decisive shooting than Tobias Harris is. So that would definitely help us. I believe we need to try it out, and then Tobias Harris can be more dominant on coming off the bench because he won't have to be a fourth option anymore. He can be the number one option. But y'all, we do have a huge problem. We know we have this problem. We had this problem before the James Harden trade. Lack of bench help. Now, Georges Niang is shooting 40% from three right now, and that's very solid compared to Tobias Harris. Right now, season-wise, Tobias Harris is shooting 35% from three this season, but over the last 10 games, he's only shooting about 32% from three. And I say that because that's was the addition of James Harden. First of all, Tobias, with James Harden, you should be knocking down more threes because you've been wide open. Dudes have been wide open, they're just not knocking down shots. James be having and finding dudes wide open because all the attention he gets. But dudes ain't knocking down wide open shots, and that's a big problem. So that's what I'm saying, we need to try Niang in the starting lineup because we do know he's at least way more decisive shooting wise than Tobias Harris has been. But like I said, our lack of depth and lack of shooting and just lack of everything on the bench is still going to curse us. It was a problem last season. Last season, our only problem was not Ben Simmons. If you guys don't remember that series against the Hawks, we struggled. Our bench struggled severely. Our bench has always been a problem. It wasn't just Ben Simmons that was the problem last season. And trading for James Harden does not fix the bad bench. We did not solve one of our biggest problems, top two problems, which is the bench, okay? So that's something, I don't know, there's nothing we can do now about it. That's just something we can solve in the off season, but we can try bringing Tobias Harris off the bench, and maybe he can go back to being more dominant on offense like he was last season. Yeah, so shoot, that's a big problem. What else? I mean, we already know we don't have any 3-and-D help. There's a couple of things you just need formatically wise on an NBA team. Stretch four, we had that last season, but the stretch four done shrunk. He ain't stretching no more. And Tobias and some 3-and-D help. We do not have the 3-and-D. Matisse got the D, but he ain't got the 3, and that is not good, and that's why we can't have him on the floor as much because he is a liability offensively. Big brother. Danny Green ain't got no 3 or no D. Once every 5 games, he might have a low 3, but Danny Green is just he. So yeah, we're struggling right now. But y'all, speaking of Danny freaking Green, let me talk about him for a little bit, okay? First of all, Danny Green, shut your mouth on your podcast. You can't be running your mouth about the team while you're still on the team. Danny Green keeps running that flap. So it came out yesterday that Danny Green was saying, oh, the team was, when we had, like earlier in the season, the team was coming up with trade scenarios for Ben Simmons, and we was talking and thinking about who was going to be traded for Ben. Danny, you're still on the team. Why are you leaking locker room talk? Why are you leaking practice talk? And it's not just that one case. Once we traded Seth Curry, Danny Green was on his podcast talking about, oh, Seth and Ben always had beef. Seth and Ben don't really like each other. I don't know how that's going to work. Well, it's working because they was keying on the bench when the Nets was running through us. Why are you running your mouth, Danny? Save running your mouth for retirement. You're putting all your good content and your energy on the green room. What about on the floor? Because you are just as expendable as, well, Seth was not expendable. But Danny Green, do you realize that you're not even putting the full production on the court, but you running that flat on your podcast? Shut your trap. You can't be leaking locker room and stuff. Running your mouth. was saving for the off season or retirement. It's mid-season. Why are you even thinking about that? You should have been thinking about the Nets. Am I tripping, y'all, or what? If you made it this far in the video, am I tripping? I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like people that run their mouth. Stop it. Maybe 10 years from now, when people want to know what went on in the Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid era, you can run your mouth for a little documentary, mini-series. But right now, you be working on that 3-and-D because you're not bringing either. Okay? I had to get that off my chest. But yeah, Tobias, let's try him off the bench. Doc, stop being stingy. Let's see some more. Let's try Tobias off the bench. We need to see more Isaiah Joe. What we've seen of Isaiah Joe, we've liked. We just need guys with a quick release, a quick trigger. Guys that will consistently knock down those wide open threes that James Harden sets them up with. Danny Green, shut your mouth. James Harden, we need to know, are you playing the back-to-backs or not? Is he with us or what? But y'all, let me know what y'all think down below. Make sure you like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Check out the links down below. Buy me the coffee, shop the official Simone with the Sports merch collection, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!